Fuel. Rose, this is actually going to be a slapper. Yeah. For Dallas Fuel, I think getting a loss in Arlington the other day, not going to feel too good, going to be honest with you, especially against in front of a home crowd. The Outlaws, obviously, I just want to make one comment on that. They always show up on stage, kind of insane. I'm excited to see Outlaws in a playoff scenario. That would be kind of wicked. But the Dallas Fuel and the Atlanta Reign, two teams that have been just exceptional throughout the entire, almost throughout the entire season. I think with the Fuel wanting to rebound today would be really nice. Maybe going against a team that isn't the Atlanta Reign would be even better for them, but a good challenge nonetheless. On the other hand, the Reign, though, they had a very close game. We casted it yesterday, Rose, against the Florida Mayhem. Florida almost managed to sneak a dub away from the Reign, but they managed to clutch out in the very last couple of minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, Atlanta Reign, when you think of that team, you think of, you know, mechanical skill, you think of just kind of aggression, and you also think of clutch factor when it comes to this team. Here's your starting lineup for the Atlanta Reign. We've got our usual suspects here: Venom, Speedily, Hawk, Ultraviolet, and Vigilante. And I think that it's the back line for me that I'm going to be paying most attention to in this matchup, because Ultraviolet and Vigilante, not only are they able to keep each other alive really well, even against things like a dive or a counter dive, but also like their mechanical skill is just off the charts, Jaws, as well as their flexibility. And that's something that I feel like was the Achilles heel of Dallas Fuel yesterday, not really being able to contend with Houston Outlaws backline.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weak point, which is something we don't normally say about the Dallas Fuel backline, right? It's a bit odd. Oh, you know, Chio Fielder not doing so hot today. Very, very foreign statement. But the person that I think the Fuel need to kind of watch out for, who got MVP the other day, was Speedily, and it's going to be Edison and Sparkle looking to take him head to head. Harbin, Fielder, and Chio will of course round out the roster. I doubt we'll see Fearless today. I think it's going to be Harbin for the majority of the time here. Yeah,
well, especially when you're playing on Busan as well. Even when we see like downtown as a part of the rotation on this map, I think that a lot of it just comes down to being able to go brawl and hit hard, and that's something that Dallas Fuel is very, very good at. They surprised a lot of people in the very first stage of competition to kick off this season, where they came out, they absolutely blew away San Francisco Shock, which was the favorite going into that first tournament. I mean, it was the Zarya and it was Hanbin leading that charge.
Yeah, I love right now the tank situation. I think in this meta with the amount of D.Va we're seeing and the amount of Zarya too, and then every now and then you get a sprinkling of maybe Winston, a bit of Orisa, a lot of variance in these current comps, and that's what you kind of need. But both Hawk and Hanbin, I think, and Hanbin's been talked about almost for the entire year. It feels like MVP level kind of performances on that tank role. They've got a lot of heroes in their hero pool, very few things that they can't both cover. So that's going to be, I think, one of the matchups today that we're going to be looking at is the Hawk versus Hanbin in the tank v tank. But how are the Dallas Fuel going to kind of rebound from that loss? Because you go in, you expect Dallas Fuel to win. Everybody was expecting Dallas Fuel to win, right? Like, and then they get up on stage, it's like, oh, wait, hang on a second. Outlaws do be going a little crazy. Like Merit and Pelican just kind of handed it to Edison and Sparkle. And it was going to be a tough matchup, especially in the DPS, because all four of those players just actually cracked out. But wow, I didn't expect so much dominance from the Houston Outlaws. So we'll see if the Fuel have kind of regrouped, got their mental back, and come back in the series. And like Zoe said too, they do win. The Fuel, that is. They do lock in that #1 seed overall. So that's going to be pretty damn important.
Yeah, I think the last comment I want to make about the Houston versus Dallas matchup is that I think Dallas got hit with a lot of surprise factor, maybe not expecting Dante to come out on the Zarya and also perform to super high levels of success. You know, we've seen Dante kind of go through that evolution, and I think that when Dallas Fuel, you know, is going against the Atlanta Reign, you kind of know what to expect just a little bit more. You're expecting the Hawk D.Va, you're expecting that Speedily is probably going to come out on the Echo, especially as we head over to downtown for our first map in the rotation of Busan. You've got lots of great buildings and a huge skybox to be able to play with, so I don't think Dallas Fuel are going to get too caught off guard by what they see Atlanta Reign rolling out with.
Yeah, Zen Honor in the backline for the Rain. It's going to be Fielder on the BAP and then Chio on the Lucio. Yeah, so a little bit more of a rush here for the Dallas Fuel, but like you said, Rose, something that they're rather fond of, quite used to at this point in time. Looks like the Atlanta Rain ended up backing up. Hawk went super low, and Venom a little bit lower. He gets taken out by Chio. First blood of the game as the point unlocks, and the Atlanta Rain already down 1.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, this is going to be a really big team fight win here for Dallas as well. But Hanbin did get slept. He gets woken back up, but, you know, Atlanta's still in the fight. Maybe not so much anymore.
Ooh, look at that aggression from Edison there. Is he going to get punished? Any punishes? 20 HP, gets a couple of left clicks there, right clicks there from Fielder. Should be all good. Dallas Fuel taking in their stride. It was a nice little sleep. Like Ultraviolet kind of flung that out down the choke, see if he can land on somebody, but as soon as Hanbin gets back up, his bubbles have recharged, so he just whacks one on him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing too is that, you know, Edison was playing really safe, kind of waiting for Fielder to be in that line of sight to be able to take that out. Oh my god, Hanbin's taking high ground, and this is one of the things I was worried about with like the Zarya versus the D.Va. You know, D.Va can't defense matrix away that charge that Hanbin's going to be coming at Hawk with.
Ultraviolet didn't stand a chance against Hanbin there. Even a lamp thrown out on top of Hanbin to keep him alive. Earned himself a grab. Trades are going in favor of the Atlanta Rain right now, even though they've lost Ultraviolet. I say that as Vigilante and Speedly fall to the DPS of the Dallas Fuel. No ult's really required there for Fuel. They only used the window, and that was at the very start of the fight. And now with 60% and building, you can imagine it's going to be last fight in just a second. Pulse Bomb gets thrown out, Hawk gets demegged. You can see him in the camera just kind of shaking his head a little bit. Didn't really want to fall that early. And now definitely going to be last fight, as he can't even get off the map before Sparkle finishes him off.
Oh, that's devastating as well. I mean, Sparkle threw out the Pulse Bomb there, and that's really all that Dallas Fuel needed too. Like, Jaws, they're cycling through their ultimates, and they're finding so much value from each individual one, and now Hanbin gets to hit him with the grab as soon as they walk in.
Oh, okay. I think Speedly was maybe expecting it to get healed there, but not to be. He even had that duplication. Might not even get a chance to use it, to be honest. The Atlanta Rain force that Transcendence. They push onto the point with it, but the Dallas Fuel still have not only the grab, but they got Fielder near in another window. Overtime is here. Atlanta Rain have the Duke coming back, but Hawk is not on the point. They've got a pseudo tank in Speedly now. Only has 300 HP on the Zarya, but he still has a couple of bubbles and might build up to a free Graviton Surge. He burns down Edison, quick sharp, throws out the grab, but there's going to be a lamp just in time to save Hanbin. Kills are still coming through though, as the Atlanta Rain holding on to this point by the skin of their teeth. Hanbin refusing to die just yet. He eventually gets antied and taken care of as Hawk makes his way back to the point. The Atlanta Rain have now got a Nano online, and the Fuel refusing to get off of the point. They eventually decide today is not the day to go in, as Sparkle ends up going down, and Rain finds a flip.
Rain flip, but not before Dallas Fuel going to be coming back into this one too. Fueler gets kind of focused down by Hawk, but the reinforcements are back here from Dallas.
Ooh. Oh my god, Hawk almost went down there. You see,
yeah, I had to hold my breath.
Went off the map to dodge out of the damage incoming. Could have got taken out by the train there, but it's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Dallas Fuel, they lost a fight. They stayed for an elongated period of time, but it's all good. They still got a lot to play with here. And with Speedly going down, it's definitely a good start. However, Fielder's under a lot of pressure. Micropistols don't do enough to actually finish him off, and Chio's here to the rescue. Fielder and Chio handily dealing with Hawk, and now Fuel putting pressure on the point again.
Yeah, look at that too. I mean, Fielder also just landed on top of a health pack, and Atlanta Rain are starting to lose bodies on the point.
Yes, they are. Sparkle is pretty low, does need a little bit of healing. 6 HP currently. Fielder's got to look at him. The beats coming out from the Dallas Fuel to try and end this, and Sparkle didn't receive any of that, so still pretty low. A Transcendence to match, so the Atlanta Rain still hold, but they need to be able to get control of the point once again. They finally do it, and ooh, rough stuff. That's a nano self-destruct. Unlucky. Okay, the Atlanta Rain win that fight. They do end up recapping, but Dallas Fuel did burn a couple of percentage points away from them there. They did end up capping mid-fight, and then Atlanta Rain got the recap, so they deny about 10%.
Yeah, and that's, you know, still going to at least buy Dallas Fuel a little bit of time. They're working up to some of these more critical ultimates. They've got the Overclock coming online here for Edison, Sparkle, and Hanbin hot on that trail as well to get those ultimates online. And Atlanta Rain, you know, they're kind of up against the clock here. They cannot fall. They have one more team fight that they've got to win to secure this round.
Yeah, from the brink of defeat, the Atlanta Reign might get themselves back in this round. Harbin so close to grab. It's where Dallas Fuel want to strike. They know the supports for the Atlanta Reign right now are in the choke points. A pulse bomb lands from Venom and takes down Shio. And now the Dallas Fuel into, they're in danger right now. It's 95%. The Atlanta Reign find almost a complete wipe. Sparkle is 1 HP, gets taken down by Venom. Him and Speedy just carried the end of that fight. And the Dallas Fuel, who was sitting at 99%, completely reversed on. Atlanta Reign take the first round.
That's the clutch factor that we consider when we think about the team of Atlanta Reign. Their backs were against the wall in that round. Dallas Fuel really just needed a couple of ultimates to take a couple of eco pushes, get that ultimate economy back in their favor, and then go in. They had an entire 0 to 100 to be able to do so. Let's watch this clip, though, of Venom, like one of the carries here for Atlanta Reign. Threw the pulse bomb in, killed the immortality field, and that was a huge, huge elimination there onto the backline of Dallas Fuel. At that point, all the damage was permanent, and Atlanta Reign just had to clean it up. So let's see what happens here on Sanctuary as we see a swap up here of at least the composition from the Atlanta Reign, speedily taking out another one of those pocket picks in the Soldier 76.
All right, okay. Been a while since we've seen some Soldier 76 run out the spawn doors, but there you go. All right, I maybe expecting Speedy to go for the Sojourn instead. Imagine Eddie, but okay, not to be, not to be. Chio takes down Venom. Not sure how that went down. Maybe Venom just lost the 1v1. It was on the sidelines. We didn't end up seeing it, as with most Tracer duels. Dallas Fuel end up capping that point first with a clear 5v4 advantage. I
kind of wonder if Speedily is going to give up the Soldier 76 after maybe getting the Tac Visor online or something, but I do like that you have the heal station just to kind of beef up the heals. You got Vigilante on, on the Zen, and you know that Ultraviolet on the Ana is going to be putting in a lot of work here, but for Dallas, it really is about just kind of taking out that backline still, as everybody's sort of split up and doing their own thing. Hawk's going in.
Yeah, that is exactly what is happening right now. Everybody's doing their own thing. Hawk does end up getting Nano. Speedly takes care of Edison, but is traded for by Chio. There is a D-Mech. Harbin's still pretty chunky in the front lines with those bubbles still active. You see Hawk there trying to just poke him down, waiting for his DPS to kind of finish him off. But the lack of damage when Speedy is dead, especially focusing on a tank, is very evident. You saw it there. Hawk was focusing Harbin, but, you know, Zarya just chewing through that mech with that beam. It's a pretty rough state of affairs, but all good. They get to go again, and they have got Visor. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be, but we'll have to wait and see,
I mean, if you're able to take out Fielder's Immortality Field, then it'll probably be pretty good. Chio is still a couple of % away here from the Sound Bearer, but it comes online right on time here to deal with the Tac Visor.
All right, well, there's Tac Visor, and there's a beat drop. So now, Speely's in trouble. He does get chased away, pushed out of his own healing station there by Sparkle and Chio. As Dallas Fuel, same situation. Can the Atlanta Reign come back? They're almost at 99. Vigilante is on the wrong side of the map. Someone from the Reign needs to be about to touch. Maybe Hawk, maybe Venom. Looks like Hawk may be the one to touch here. He's in that little circular alcove. Venom gets on the point, same with Hawk. Okay, but Venom instantly dies. And Hawk uses all of his cooldowns to try and stay alive on the points. And that's what Dallas Fuel wanted to see on round one, 100-0.
Oh yeah, the pace though that Dallas Fuel set, I mean, that's why the first half of Downtown looks so convincing, and then this round as well, being that 0 to 100, it was just the pace that they set. Hanbin was always getting very aggressive and always had those bubbles on cooldown to use reactively for when Fielder and Chio were in a little bit of trouble. And I think that just the synergy and the consistency of Dallas Fuel just really put Atlanta Reign on such a weird position when it came to, like, can they group up, can they use their ultimates and actually find value. I'm not sure about the Soldier 76 pick. I think it was cool to see the heal station as maybe a little bit of extra support so that Speedily could play a little bit more on his own and self-sustainably, but we're going to see the Genji from him this time. So 3 different heroes now coming out from this player.
Super quick dive here for the Atlanta Reign. It's classic dive, pretty much. Oh, Speedy gets focused. Man. Dallas Fuel really know where to stick it, and it's on Spearly right now. Edison cleans up 2. That dive pretty hard to run, especially when you're running into like Disruptor Shot, the Immortality field that you have to deal with. Yeah, pretty tough there if you don't go very quickly in those choke points too, and especially with the amount of cover that's around the high ground, it's easy for supports to kind of get away, especially if you have Chio or the Lucio kind of taxiing people away.
Exactly.
I
mean, everybody on Dallas Fuel right now is so mobile, and I think it's really only Hanbin, but you still have that survivability factor with the bubbles, and it's just not so easy to get the dive through.
But there you go. That was like the perfect demonstration. Hawk jumps in, both Edison and Fielder use them like exo boots for Fielder, just jumps high in the sky, and then Edison just uses shift, the power slide to go all the way back. And yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, Winston.
I mean, it's gone back to spawn, and it's also something that Hawk has switched off of. It's going to be the Zarya here for Hawk, and it just really feels like with all these swaps, Atlanta just don't know what to do right now against this.
That is some damage right there from Fielder and Edison through that window. Yeah, all right. Sparkle gets dipped, though, by Venom on the sidelines. Oh, Fielder dies to a Disruptor? What? Okay, Fielder just died to a Disruptor shot. Maybe didn't have the regenerative burst, that shift.
Yeah.
Don't know. There's the grab. Is there anything to save them? It doesn't look like it. That beat's going to come out from the Dallas Fuel too to sustain them through Hawk getting the nano boost. However, not quite so lucky as Chio, as he tried to escape onto the low ground, but just got laser beamed down by Hawk's precise aim. The Atlanta Rain do end up flipping the point, but Dallas Fuel still finding these picks here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, the Fielder not going to go ahead and escape without taking someone down with him. And maybe this is the start of the Atlanta Rain comeback. They're able to start holding the door now. Hawk is going to be able to play Doorkeeper here, and Speedoly's got the Overclock online. And, you know, very impressive on the Sojourn this past weekend. First time debuting a hero, so maybe the Overclock can shut down the Dallas Fuel coming back in.
Oh, Fielder is so low. Speedly's trying his hardest to get on top of that Batiste. He eventually gets booped away from the rest of his team, and Ultraviolet finishes him off. Maybe it took a little bit too much time, though, as Venom gets taken care of. 45 to 67. The Atlanta Rain closing in on Dallas Fuel's percent bank. Speedly is just chased down by Hanbin. A Graviton Surge is rather large, and so is the Anti-Nade. Vigilante with a parting gift on top of that grab from Hawk, as both Ultraviolet and Vigilante put themselves in the kill feed there for the Atlanta Rain.
Absolutely. This is a great look here from Atlanta. The grab just being used at the very perfect time when Dallas Fuel were starting to run out of resources to keep themselves alive. Fielder especially not being able to get that Immortality field up, that's just detrimental here. But now Dallas Fuel in this last fight territory, they do have the Graviton Surge of their own and the window to push Atlanta Rain back.
It was a big split there.
Oh, they're
Look at
wrapping
that.
around!
Look at that big split from the Dallas Fuel. Like 3 of them went down onto this low ground, and then Hawk just ran at Hanbin with Nano. And they couldn't do anything about it. 90% for the Atlanta Rain. Hawk just trying to find these picks at the very end. Fielder's not going to get back to the point in time to be any sort of use. I guess at least the Fuel kills Speedly, but it's 99%. OT has been triggered, and Hanbin, the only member of the Dallas Fuel currently with ult. If Edison gets back in time, it could be a big overclock, but it's going to have to be right now. Otherwise, the Atlanta Rain are going to take this fight. Sparkle luckily gets on point just in time to re-trigger OT, but Venom cleans up both Hanbin and Sparkle. OT's sticking down. There's one person left. It is Edison on the point. He receives a lamp, but very fragile members of the Dallas Fuel now left. Chio chased off of the point, and the Atlanta Rain will take map 1.
Look at that. I mean, that's one of the biggest denials this map. Dallas Fuel just off to such a blazing fast start on every single round, and Sanctuary going to be the only map in the round to go their way. It's kind of insane when you think about just how commanding of a position Dallas Fuel was in to be able to get up to, you know, 75+%, 99 in 2 cases, and just the denial there from Atlanta. Some really smart defensive play coming out from them to take that map.
Wow, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for the Atlanta Rain and the Dallas Fuel. Dallas Fuel won Sanctuary like, what, 100 to 0? So, yeah, you're definitely feeling pretty good after that one, but the Atlanta Rain stuck it out and took the dub in the very end. We're going to go on to Eichenbod as our next map. Don't go anywhere. Dallas Fuel still looking for that win. They want to get some, maybe not revenge over Houston Outlaws, but they want to feel better about themselves after that devastating loss at the LAN. Close series so far between two titans in the West, the Atlanta Reign and the Dallas Fuel. Starting off the series, having a close control map. 2-1 was the final score. Atlanta Reign scoring the 2 points, Fuel only getting the 1. It was a decisive one though, 100-0, but the Atlanta Reign scrapping it out. We're going to Eichenwalder as our next map. No substitutions from either side, so same old 10 on your screen.
I mean, as you pointed out, Jaws, at the beginning of the series, we might not see any Fearless coming in for the Dallas Fuel, and Dallas Fuel looked pretty content to run this roster throughout the series versus Houston Outlaws yesterday. I think a lot of people had some questions about, you know, where's Doha, maybe not feeling so confident in trying to play a little bit of a different tempo since you know, sometimes the Sombra doesn't really allow you to go as fast because you have to wait for that setup to come through. So I kind of expect that Dallas Fuel want to keep kind of pushing the aggression here with the Zarya and then also the follow-up there from the Sojourn too.
Only one way to find out. Let's get into game.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a back and forth. Us pointed out how it was very much Harmbin versus Hawk at the very top of the show, but it felt like Venom, at least for on the Reign side, was getting so much more done. Him and Sparkle were kind of trading blows, tit for tat, and when it came down to like the solo little battles they were having, Sparkle was coming out on top, but Venom was always around there for his team to help finish up. Hawk was putting himself in positions where he could damage the back line or even obviously the front line, getting Harmbin pretty low, and then Venom is always by his side when he needs to be to finish up those final kills, or they get the final blows.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's just kind of what you need to see there from the follow-up there with your Tracer. Both of these compositions really looking at getting some amount of burst damage out with the Sojourn Railgun, and then you also have the Echo, the Focusing Beam, and then of course needing the follow-up there from your Tracer. It's just to be able to get that explosive damage, get those big picks, and really open things up there for your tank to just kind of keep at it. And so you're going to see aggressive plays coming out from both teams, but obviously with different flavors. Venom, that was so close. Could you imagine if that had just been the first pick? Oh my god, Fielder's asleep too. Whoa. Or he was asleep.
Hey, he was asleep, yeah. Not sure you can, unfortunately it's not sure you can follow that up if you don't have the Tracer right next to you, so that would have been a sick sleep, but all good. All good. Hawk has already made his run. You can see about Hawk's positioning right now. Jesus. Very aggressive. I mean, you can't let the Dallas Fuel run away with it quite literally with the Lucio. So getting your Zen into a good position like this is Hawk's priority right now. It's pretty easy for Venom kind of defend himself. Oh, Fielder not having a good time so far. Already been slept once this match, and now he's dead. That's Zenyatta Discord Orb doing a whole lot of work for the Atlanta Reign and taking this bar control too. They're getting 3 ticks now, right?
Yeah, and I mean, when you can push Dallas Fuel back like this too, Hawk is just gonna go ahead and body block. Oh,
go touch,
okay.
go touch.
That was close.
Oh, 99.8%, and Sparkle's on the point. He cannot get off, otherwise Reign will get that cap. Hawk trying to chase him, push him, get him to recall. It's eventually regressing in terms of capture percent, but the Dallas Fuel still hanging on somehow. Sparkle eventually gets taken out. That pulse bomb from Venom zoning Fielder away there from the points. And what a quick 0.8 cap for the Atlanta Reign. They are not here to mess around.
I mean, while you couldn't get the follow-up there onto Fielder after the sleep, that was a big opening there for Hawk to go in and just start diving into the backline. That created so much space there for Atlanta Reign to capitalize on. And you saw Speedily and Venom follow that up pretty quickly. Vigilante too, the pressure of the Discord Orbs is making it difficult for Dallas Fuel to actually push forward, because you don't want to get stuck in a position where you're discorded and then, you know, Speedily and Venom go in and absolutely clap you. So Dallas are going to start playing this one maybe a little bit more conservatively. They do have the Amplification Matrix. That's a great way to start off this next engage, just to be able to play on cart, which is what Atlanta Reign are forcing by playing on the cart.
There's Banano. Can Sparkle even the tide here? He's already taken out 2. I'm looking for Hawk in the kill feed, but he hasn't got anything. Sparkle just taking this fight into his own hands. Hawk got super low by the looks of it. Not sure who was kind of shooting at him there, but I could imagine it was Harmbin with that beam. Wow, Sparkle killing 3 in that fight. That's what you need from your Tracer play. Even landing the stick.
Yeah, that's really good too. Vigilante is gonna at least get the Transcendence online for Harmbin's Grav. So great response there for that ultimate, but you gotta watch out for Sparkle. You know, Sparkle's gonna be hunting this less mobile backline of Ultraviolet and Vigilante here on the Ana event.
All right, duplicate available from Speedly too. A Zarya and a D.Va, pretty scary thought if you're the Dallas Fuel right now. Got to focus down Speedly ASAP. Oh, Harbin, not sure what was going down in that little room, but he's getting kills. Oh, grab onto Speedly, he goes for the duplicate. Okay, that is some BM right there. All right, Dallas Fuel, they're going to hold on. And they just got to finish up these last couple of kills. Looks like Vigilante takes down Fielder somehow. All right, okay. A final ditch attempt to try and find some value, but Harbin looking like he's going to take care of both supports. Yeah, it was scrappy, but the Dallas Fuel holding the high ground. They should be in good stead.
Italy's decision to use the duplicate there didn't work out, but pretty smart in the present time. You know, you were hoping that maybe that would give you enough sustainability. Maybe you would be able to get some heals in there from Ultraviolet or Vigilante, but obviously Vigilante has his hands full by trying to take out Fielder, so maybe not the right awareness there to be able to use that duplicate, but you can go again. Atlanta Reign had plenty of time after their super fast point A take, and they're just going to try to get the high ground from the Dallas Fuel right now. And Speedly goes in now with the nano.
Nano's coming out. Yep, it's on Speedly this time around instead of Hawk. Transcendence going straight through the window. Vigilante wants some environmentals by the look of it. Oh, Edison! That might have been a collapse to take out the mech and Speedly. We'll have to get a little replay on that one. That was rather devastating. Nice attempt, though, for the Atlanta Reign, pushing through the window with the Transcendence, but Edison lining people up and knocking them down.
Yeah, if that was a collat, how come it goes through D.Va mech? Like, it just feels like it shouldn't, because D.Va's mech is made out of, like, carbon fiber or metal or something. But it's fine. Physics. Physics doesn't exist in this game.
Yeah, physics. Yeah. Overwatch physics, everybody.
Overwatch physics.
It's all good. It doesn't have to make sense, as long as it looks cool.
That's so true, though. So true. One more attempt here for Atlanta Reign. Maybe two if they are fast enough. We're going to see some payload push coming out here from Venom as he looks to try to get this Pulse Bomb online and a nice target, but Sparkle's hunting too.
Do be hunting. See Speedly. Ooh, ambitious. We'll call that one Sparkle. We see some crazy pulse bombs over the last couple of days. Venom's now got one in his hands, getting chased away by the Fuel, but they seem to have given up the chase, just focusing on the front line. And with 60 seconds to go and Hawk out of mech for a brief moment, this could be a good opportunity for Dallas Fuel to assert some more dominance. Harbin is pretty low, but Fielder keeping him alive, and even Venom getting checked by Harbin. Not something you usually see. There's the nano boost. Beat's going to come out for the Dallas Fuel, however, as they try and burn down Hawk's mech, so Harbin gets a free grab. The focus on Hawk is fantastic. He eventually gets demech'd, and without a self-destruct, there is no chance for a remech. 30 seconds to go, and Atlanta Reign looking like they want to try and still force this, but the copy does absolutely nothing for Speedly and gets taken out by Fielder. He just puts the window in front of him, just starts shooting. He just starts blasting. The Transcendence used to keep them alive on the point, and another disrespectful Graviton Surge from Harbin, straight in Vigilante's face. Atlanta Reign, one hope, dream left. That pulse one from Venom's going to have to be rather meaty.
Yeah, that's it if he can get there, too. I mean, Dallas Fuel know exactly where he is.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, Venom got clotheslined there. His little head got shot off by Fielder once again. Pulse bomb out from Sparkle doesn't mean a whole bunch. And a nice boot by Chio as Hawk tries to get a retouch. Not going to happen. And Atlanta Reign are going to get stuck just before those doors.
Yep. Yes, they are. I mean, that was such a fast point A take, maybe taking Dallas Fuel by surprise. But after that point, Dallas was like, I don't think so. I think what's really tough about the way that Hanbin plays the Zarya as well is that, you know, he uses those bubbles very conservatively, where if a Hawk is going in to try to dive Fielder or Edison, then, you know, Hanbin has a bubble at their ready to be able to save them, but also he's close by enough that he gets to charge and then he gets to use it and convert it into immediate damage. And so that makes Hanbin Zarya so scary. How do you contest against that when you can't soak up the damage with D.Va's defense matrix, and then you also just kind of, you know, get lasered down because a lot of the characters on Atlanta Reign are very squishy. But is it?
It wasn't okay. It wasn't a. That sucks. It wasn't a collab, but it would have been cool. But anyway, Edison's still
good.
killing people through window. I mean, a fully charged right click there does kill a DPS or a support for that matter. It's a lot of damage amped, especially when you're 100 charge.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the Amp Matrix too on top of that. That's just like overkill. You don't need that much. But same compositions here for both Atlanta and Dallas. I think this time around, the Lucio has just been super pivotal for Dallas Fuel to be able to make these aggressive pushes. You know, Chio is able to use that, you know, amp to the speed right away to be able to round these corners. Gotta wait for Edison, though, to wake that up. Oh, the body block there, Hanbin. You're such a good tank.
Friendly tank player, Hanbin. Bubbling himself so he can sound on Venison and get free charge. Not sure how Venom went down either. Chio got the final blow on that one. All right, another quick push. Okay, Vigilante, what is he cooking? What is he doing? Big right click maybe onto Fielder? Oh, Fielder's taking care of Speedly, and Hawk's mech is gone too. It do just be Vigilante kind of hanging around in the back line, and there it is. He is dead.
Okay. It was...
Almost saving Private Vigilante then, but they couldn't get to him.
Listen, it was cute. It was almost good. It was almost good. If that had taken out Fielder, maybe we would have been in a different scenario here. So I like the attempt, and I like the gumption to try it anyway. But
that describes my play in Overwatch.
Almost
good.
Almost good. Oh, on the Zenyatta too, huh?
Almost good.
All right. Well, maybe the defense for Atlanta Reign could be almost good here too. Ultraviolet has the nano. Does he give it over to Hawk this time? He kind of was switching between Hawk and maybe Speely or Venom. Speedo is on the Sojourn though now. Oh, Vigilante just got a pick.
All right. Okay. Hawk holding this high ground is pretty nice. Looks like Vigilante and Venom are just putting some pressure on the backline of the Dallas Fuel. Venom doesn't want to get his back blown out there by Sparkle, so he ends up backing off. Yeah, there's been a few times where Venom and Sparkle have just fought off on a sideline, and then whatever tracer comes out on top, especially if they both got Pulse Bomb, it's almost a free entry, a free ticket, if you will. Skipping the line to try and get to Fielder and Chio. Or Ultraviolet Vigilante for that matter. There's the window. Pulse Bomb for Sparkle. Oh, he gets the Blink melee Pulse Bomb on the ground. Doesn't do anything much. I mean, he got some damage down, but that's about it. There's the sound barrier to counteract Speedly and Hawk, both throwing ults in, or Ultraviolet throwing a nano boost onto Hawk. So 2 ults negated with a single one. Dallas Fuel come out on top in that regard, and all the meanwhile, Sparkle was just in the background. Speedly not able to turn around quick enough as he gets finished off by Edison. Now the Atlanta Reign looking at maybe their final fight here as the Dallas Fuel almost get a complete team wipe. Oh, 3.5 minutes to go. And very little meters to cover now.
I mean, the wraparound there from Sparkle just completely demolished the Atlanta Reign backline. They're just so stagnant playing the Ana and the Zenyatta, and they don't really have great avenues to escape unless you're able to hit your cooldowns. Hawk's able to come out, though, and you have the sustain of at least Vigilante's Transcendence, but Hawk's got to get back into mech. He can't fall here.
Oh. Not quite a remech kill. He just remexed to kill the lamp. Epic. Epic Overwatch moment right there. Put it on TikTok.
You gotta kill the summons too. I mean, it's important.
Kill? Yeah, exactly. You gotta kill the
summons.
summons.
If you leave the Immortality field alone, then Dallas Fuel might be able to clutch it out. So gotta do what you can. That's at least one more good defense here for Atlanta. They were able to hold on to the Transcendence as well. So, you know, good patience executed here from Vigilante to assess the situation, knowing they wouldn't need it and can save it now for the grab. Grab Pulse? Maybe? No!
Vigilante, gotta be careful.
Yeah,
there's the stick. Transcendence, alrighty. They forced the trans with a Pulse. And now Hanbin setting himself up for a grab. He's not going to yeet it, there's just no way. Trying to burn Hawk's mech or get rid of that Matrix burst. Oh, what a stick. Another nice kill on Sparkle, both DPS. The Dallas Fuel now dead. Hanbin used the bubble. He does use the grab on the point. Hanbin might just be able to clutch this. DPS who? Fielder and Hanbin are on the field. They're still doing damage. Speedy ends up getting nano, takes care of Fielder. Can he do some more? He just needs more. Another overclock kill. Speedly manages to save the Atlanta Reign. 3 kills with the overclock for Speedly. as they lived yet again a couple of meters before they ended up losing that map. Dallas Fuel a bit mad with themselves after that one. I think they threw so much in thinking they could win, but Speedly clutches up.
Heavy investment there from the Fuel, and so impressive there from Speedly after he just debuted his work on this hero like this weekend. And able to clutch out like that, buying Atlanta Reign another life, and Dallas only have the sound barrier here to move in on again.
And they're going to use it. Oh, look who they're going for. A little bit of revenge. Speedly is one. He gets taken out by Fielder. And now it is Hawk, the main focus. They got to get rid of Hawk's mech. He does end up getting booped away and actually just returns to Ultraviolet to get some health. Fielder does end up falling to Venom. Dallas Fuel are unable to chase him down either. Hawk's mech pretty low. No self-destruct to get the remake, so it's a free kill for the Dallas Fuel. Numbers are coming up big for Fuel, but the Atlanta Reign have a close spawn hold, a spawn position. Speedly. Oh, he was so close to clutching yet again, but went for the kill on the mega health pack, and the Dallas Fuel put 2 people on the payload and end the map. They're going to tie the series up one apiece now.
These Sojourns are absolutely like, I don't know what's going on with them today, but the clutch factor there from Edison too, to be able to secure that attack push and the map. We've got a huge series on our hands. There were a lot of expectations going into Atlanta versus Dallas, but being tied up here, I don't know if we would have expected anything else.
My word. Well, Speedly is coming alive. That's what you really want to see. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got some more Overwatch after this.
Shald and the blade from Sparkle with it. Now that they're flow target, Nova gets deflect on the heart.
Gurios to the back wall, he takes the double shot. Edison with a 5K! That's what you want to see!
Gio demands shears. A triple for Lucian.
Who's getting unreal value right now? What is this?
But it's Hartman is a one-man army on the front.
Lucifer Blue, the brightest.
Welcome back. Dallas Fuel and Atlanta Reign currently tied up as we go to Junkertown. As you saw, or maybe you didn't see, Speedly, his backdrop was being removed, and Kai is inserted into the roster now for this next map. So long-range hit scan, Rose from here, so I can imagine Kai's going to be either on the Widow, or which is classic for Junkertown, to be fair, or the Ashe or something.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Speedly's backdrop getting moved because I was like, what's behind the curtain? We never get to see that, so I was like, huh, I kind of wonder what's back there. Apparently it was Kai. Because yeah, I definitely expect some hit scan here. What's really interesting looking back on just kind of the historical presence on Escort here for what Atlanta Reign like to run, it's really been Kai exclusively on Circuit Royale to play the Widowmaker. And on the last time Atlanta Reign played Junkertown was versus San Francisco Shock. They had Speedily in the roster to play the Sombra. But I think the hit scan damage here makes a little bit more sense, being able to flexibly play between the Widowmaker to have that as an option, and then the Sojourn as well, which we also know Kai is very, very good at. One of the best in the West.
It's just raw aim potential is quite absurd. Quite absurd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely going to be a hot commodity for next season, I can imagine, if he doesn't stay on the Reign. All right, wow, that is a stat and a half, actually. 72% win rate on Escort maps versus Fuel. That's all time. Worth keeping in mind.
True.
But quite a high stat nonetheless.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how many of those are this season. I'd have to.
How old they are.
Huh?
I said how old they are.
Yeah, like how many times have Atlanta Reign and Dallas played? You know, what does that look like? I don't have the data right in front of me easily to pull up, but you know, we are going to at least see Dallas Fuel come out on the defense and see where they're going to set up. It's a close hold. They have the Zarya, so it's really easy to be able to do that. And it does, you know, make it a little bit more difficult for Kai to find a good position to be able to get these headshots with the Widowmaker. Especially when Homp is just right in your face.
He is literally camping in the door.
Kai's just like, absolutely not.
What can you do? He's just in the doorway. Yep, he's still there. Kai's just waiting for a headshot.
Guns charged.
All right, Hanbin, is he getting down? No, he's
the disruptor shot.
He is still there.
He's just gonna bubble it too. The disruptor shot. Like, how charged is Hanbin right now? Like,
he must be near 100.
Oh, okay,
well,
maybe not that much.
Nah, he's pretty low.
Never mind.
Oh, now he's near 100. It's all good. Well, he's going to need some serious help now. Lamp comes out. Edison and Hanbin just yeeting their damage into the spawn doors. They are coming up with kills, but rather cheeky from the Dallas Fuel there, holding so close, knowing that Kai's probably going to pop out on the Widowmaker. But there you go. They've broken the spawn hole. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that was super smart because Hanbin looked so prepared for that. You know, going up to the high ground and just kind of knowing that Kai was going to use that exit point to try to get some of that damage and denying it completely. Dallas, of course, with that close hold, have another attempt here on Junkertown pretty easily around this building with the health pack in it. And so lots of places for Sparkle to kind of dart in and out of and also just keep himself alive.
His ult charge too from Hanbin.
It's ridiculous.
Just farming Kai at the beginning of the game.
Oh.
There's the Graviton Surge onto point. Hawk, got any bubbles? He's got a lamp. Maybe the bubble comes off on time. Nope, it does not. And even if it did, to be fair, they got a window to stare at. The reflection ain't pretty, that's for sure. The Dallas Fuel, they do end up losing Edison to a Kai headshot, but Kai has just isolated himself. And that should be the cleanup now for the Dallas
Looks like
Fuel.
Sparkle let the pulse bomb rip as well. Not capturing anybody in it so far. Vigilante trying his best.
bit messy though. They're losing players on like retreating members of the Atlanta Reign, so not the cleanest look from the Fuel there.
No, but you know, it's Sparkle, so the Tracer will be able to blink back super quickly, while Atlanta Reign just, you know, they don't have the speed available with the Baptiste and the Zenyatta backline, so they really are just kind of, you know, they have a lot of, Dallas will have time to work with here.
Oh, Venom again. There's the window. What are Dallas going to do? They're going to use the beat and they're going to push through. Oh, what a boop! Nice from Chio. Woo! You see Ultraviolet in the cam there disappearing into the nether. Oh my god. A bit mad. I think Ultraviolet is after that. That boop range is still rather large, worth keeping in mind. A minute and 20 seconds to go. Oh, that's it. Yeah, come on. Big replay. That was a really nice beat too.
Oh, Vigilante, I think. Oh, I don't know. Vigilante might have gone off too if Edison hadn't taken him out first. But Jaws, just like that, only a minute remaining here for Atlanta Reign. They've been able to withstand some of the ultimate pressure coming out from Dallas, but Hawk just gets a grab online, and Hobbit's about to slap it.
Immortality Field comes out as well as that pulse bomb. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough. Edison, Hanbin, and Field are dead. Chio to follow. Okay, Reign. You had 5 ults going in there. You've saved one of them.
Yeah, had kind of use everything there. It's just been such a tough hold for them to get through. At least at this point, Dallas can't come back to contest, so you'll see them start to get set up on the high ground. As I say that, Sparkle!
They're going to come back in. 0.22 meters to go. Lamp's already been used, and Kai's got the overclock. That's why you need to save at least one of those ultimates. There you go. All right, okay. Honestly, making Atlanta Reign burn the DPS ult, yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby, although obviously they did use no clock there, right?
Well, I mean, if it works, then it works, right? They only had 20 seconds remaining, and so may as well try
You want to take that coin flip if you can.
Yes, exactly, because if you stop Atlanta Reign there, you just hold them on Junkertown. It didn't work out quite the way that Dallas Fuel were hoping that it would, but it's fine because they still have the chance to come test this high ground. And yeah, there's the grab. I mean, that's the second grab for Hanbin here, and Hawk is just halfway to his second.
All right, high ground control now for the Dallas Fuel. A bit of a I like the aggression of the Fuel too. We've spoken about it multiple times. It's been kind of the narrative for the Fuel, but they are one giant like hive mind. They're always on the same page together, and it is fantastic to watch. One of the reasons why they're top of the board right now in the standings.
Yeah, and they have a chance to solidify that first place too globally throughout the league with a win here versus Atlanta, and they kind of seem to be sticking it to them right now. Window here from Ultraviolet though, hoping to open up the door.
Yeah, Sparkle just wishing he had Pulse Bomb to throw in that corridor there. Venom has been moving this payload the whole time, but the battle on the front lines right now is currently being won by the Fuel once again.
Yeah, Venom gets taken out as well there by Edison with just a quick swivel, and so Atlanta, they do have to wait. Hawk is now going to be walking back from spawn, and it's another minute and 10 here on the clock for Atlanta. So they've got to get through the window here. I just back up from this. From Fielder's amplification matrix. Venom's just trying to distract Dallas right now, hoping to have him turn around.
Aggressive push once again from the Dallas Fuel, but look at Hanbin. He is caught out, but Fielder, God Gamer mode right now on the Baptiste. Keeping Hanbin alive, jumps out of the window and then straight using the extra boost to get on top of the platform to heal Hanbin. Nice pulse by Venom, takes care of Sparkle, and remember, Venom's been getting this payload time this entire stage of the map, Rose. But the rest of the Atlanta Reign have been struggling to get through those doors. Venom doing the lifting in terms of the payload pushing, but Atlanta Reign need to win this frontline duel. Hawk ends up getting grabbed. They do have a lamp and a transcendence to make sure he survives, but now it is Kai versus Edison. They both got the overclock. Kai going for the duel. Edison hits him in the body and slides back down to earth. Kai ends up taking down Chio in the mix to the chaos, and now in a 1v1 takes down Edison with a disruptor shot. There's 5 seconds to go as the Atlanta Reign health bar's looking pretty low, but Ultraviolet is on the case. Manages to heal Hawk and Kai back up near to full, but the Dallas Fuel are taking names and numbers and not calling Atlanta Reign back. OT ticking through, and Kai the only one left on the payload. He put in an unbelievable amount of work there, but it's not enough to get to that second point. The Dallas Fuel once again snubbing the push of the Reign.
Really good attempt there from Atlanta, though. I feel like they were a little bit on borrowed time with just how much Dallas Fuel was able to hold them on that first point. But, I mean, Venom pushing the cart all the way towards that second point actually gave Atlanta Reign a chance where if they were able to wipe Dallas, then they would have been able to capture second and get even more time added to the clock moving into third, but just wasn't meant to be. Venom's distraction wasn't enough to be able to turn the heads of Dallas. They put a lot of faith into Edison and Sparkle to be able to deal with Venom's Tracer, and they did, time and time again. It just wasn't enough. Dallas were just content dueling it out on the front line despite maybe having a member or two missing.
All right, let's have a look at this. This must have been, yeah,
oh
Harmon
my
going
gosh.
in. A little right-click, jump into the back
The
line.
tech.
B does end up getting grabbed, but like I said, Fielder just followed him. A nicely timed lamp, jumps up with the Exo Boots a couple of times, gets some healing in. And that aggressive play from Harbin ends up working out well. Caught Atlanta Reign off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually really surprised at how much Batiste we've been seeing in this meta. What about you, Jaws? I just feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of this character throughout the season, and it really has been maybe halfway through towards, you know, this stage that we've really seen Baptiste kind of just popping off. It's really been about like the Ana and the Zenyatta, but a lot of teams now looking at the utility of the Baptiste as such a mainstay for their compositions.
Yeah, I think with the Immortality field still being as good as it's like ever been, honestly, almost ever been. It did receive a nerf, but it's still really good. And with the amount of Tracer on the other side too, if your Ana gets pulsed, there's nothing she can do at all. With the Batiste, if he gets pulsed, he can lamp. If someone else gets pulsed, he can lamp. There's like a lot of utility there, and the damage too, not only from Window but from the Batiste itself, because this is the weird thing about the fun thing about Batiste. The reload, you have two separate ammos, right? So you have the heal and you have the shot. You have like the actual shooting. Ana's only got one type of ammo, so you have to be a little bit careful there in how you actually end up playing. Speaking of being careful, Vigilante needs to be a little bit careful. It doesn't end up getting jumped off, but Kai to the rescue. Again, Edison was just flinging himself to the back line. This might be a little bit of a problem unless they can actually finish these kills. Okay, Venom is here, and the Dallas Food don't have support, so it should be a fairly easy cleanup unless Sparkle goes actually sicko mode. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to, not with Kai on the scene. He gets his toe shot off. All right, all right.
I love the way that Kai plays the Sojourn as well. One of the reasons why he is considered one of the best in the West is not just because of his stats, but also the way that he plays with his hero. The Disruptor shot there to kind of force Sparkle into the position where he could actually shoot his toes and take him out. Pretty big here. But Sparkle still walks away here with a Pulse Bomb, and Dallas Fuel gonna try to open up this next fight with it.
Yeah, Pulse v Pulse. Little window up for Ultraviolet 2. You can see how far he's hanging back. Sparkle taking a long flank route around the Atlanta Reign currently. Do they know where he is? I'm not sure they do. See how quickly Venom ends up trying to go for a kill. If he pulse bombs someone there, it's an easy lamp from Fielder. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. So he wants to ideally wait for them to get out into the open and then force the lamp, so they're in a bit of a position where they might need to back up. Here's Sparkle on the back, pulse bomb on the ground. Oh, and he kills Vigilante with it. He wasn't quite far enough away, and this ends the life of Ultraviolet in the meantime. A minute and 40 seconds for the Dallas Fuel. They're going to push this payload. And the Atlanta Reign loses support start early. Not good at all. Can they get another retouch? They do have people alive.
They do. Oh, okay. Venom is actually going to go in and try to stall for at least a little bit to buy some time for the reinforcements of the Reign to come back. But
yeah, they need Hawk.
Nope, doesn't happen.
Rough.
Yeah.
Real rough.
That doesn't feel good.
All right.
Venom, look at where Venom is.
Venom's on point A. He's on point A. He do be doing a little sightseeing. Right now.
Sneaking back there.
Also, have you tried walking? Did I do this with Scott? I don't know if I did this with Scott, but try walking like that. Crouch walking, extremely difficult.
So slow comparatively to like Tracer's just normal movement speed and just the, you know, the blinks as well. That must feel so awkward.
Well, I know, I'm in real life.
Oh, no, we tried that yesterday.
Crouch walking like Tracer does. Pain. Actual
like that.
pain. I did.
That's a great leg workout.
Pretty sure we tried to do it in Arlington, and me and Scott broke our legs. 3 minutes to go. The Dallas Fuel have the high. Well, they're not going to have a high ground just yet. Ideally, they want it, but I mean, they're taking a very different approach to the Atlanta Reign. The Atlanta Reign holding way more back as well. Remember, Dallas Fuel holding super far up in the front lines. We'll see how they want to open this one up. Looks like Edison's going to use that overclock first to create a little bit of space, scare the Atlanta Reign just a little bit, but they can't play too scared because that payload is nearing that point. 4 meters to go, and it forces the Reign to drop. An easy Graviton Surge for Harbin. Likewise for Hawk, though, as both support ultimates are also thrown in. A Transcendence for a beat, as the Dallas Fuel still managed to target down Hawk, and now the Atlanta Reign are going to have to play Spit, but still need to touch. There's a meter to go, and no one is there for the Reign to get onto the points. The Dallas Fuel are going to take match point away from them. Atlanta Reign defense there not looking so sharp.
Oh, I mean, it just felt like it was so flat. I mean, and there were so many great ideas coming out from the Reign that just weren't executed the way that the Reign probably wanted them to go. You know, I think that, like, you know, Venom playing Distraction was really smart there on the Tracer. It just didn't force Dallas Fuel to turn their heads enough. And then, I don't know, it just... Dallas just setting the pace of this match right now. They want that first place spot.
Oh, yes, they do. A win here for the Dallas Fuel will grant them the #1 seed. Like you said, the Atlanta Reign, they want to play that upset. They had a good map #1 on control. It was very scrappy, but at the end, the Atlanta Reign just kind of rolled over the Fuel. We'll see if that kind of performance can be replicated in the next map. We are going to New Queen Street. We'll see if there are any subs too after this break. Grand finals are just around the corner, and don't miss your chance to see your heroes rise. Tickets are on sale now for November 3rd and 4th. You can get your tickets at overwatchleague.com/2022/playoffs. Links on screen, or like Mitch said the other day, you can just Google it. That's okay too. That's okay too. Yeah, so make sure you turn up. Anaheim Convention Center. It's gonna be pretty lit. All right, Dallas Fuel, kind of like the mannequins on the Ilios loading screen. It's a thing. Go look it up. They're currently T-posing over the Atlanta Reign. First map, Atlanta Reign took it 2-1, but the next two didn't look nearly as close, Rose. Eichenwald and Junkertown, not so hot from the Reign. Couldn't quite make it to second point, and then Fuel on their attack got the checkpoint in. Wasn't the quickest time in the world, but it was still pretty speedy as things go. Speaking of speedy things, Speedly is in, Kai is out.
Yeah, and this is where I worry a little bit about Atlanta Reign. Not with the swap, because that's expected. You know, when you look at how Atlanta Reign like to play their roster for push, it really is like mostly Venom, Speedily, Hawk, or it has been up until this point. But they've lost all of the push maps that they've played so far this stage. It's been 3, but they've all been losses to Toronto, San Francisco, and Florida. Dallas, on the other hand, they don't have a whole lot of sample size for this stage, because most of their wins have been 3-0 or, you know, yeah, they've actually almost all been 3-0, but, yeah.
Who needs to play the map type when you can just 3-0 the enemy team?
But they are 1-1 here. One of their losses on New Queen Street was to Houston yesterday, but then they won versus Washington, so I think they have a slightly better record on New Queen Street and push this stage.
Take that with what you will. They lost against Outlaws on land, and then they won against
there you
Justice. So. All good, all good. All right, we are seeing Speedy back in. So yeah, Kai, I guess the Kai experiment on. Oh, it was not even really an experiment. He is a long-range player.
That's just the strat.
Just didn't end up really working out. Yeah, it sucks we didn't get to see more Widow, but Hanbin was just menacingly staring at him in the spawn door. Like, I don't know, there's not much you can do about that. Even Kai had a little chuckle about him in that series, or in that map even. All right, they are going to roll out the gates. Speedly back onto the Echo here, Rose. So again, a bit of a different look from either side, but a familiar one for the team.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have some mixed feelings about the Echo here now. I think that, you know, Echo is one of those heroes that, like, you can catch a lot of teams by surprise, but it's kind of like the Sombra, how that's faded out of the meta for the West just a little bit. As teams have started to figure it out, and they haven't found nearly as much success with it. Ooh, yeah, I mean, that's not a great start either. I think that's why the Echo is a little bit tough to play, because you're vulnerable when you're trying to get that damage, and then also when you have to kind of fly away, then you're leaving everybody else kind of out in the open. Makes it a little tough.
Yeah, you're going to need some flex tape to heal that head wound, I think, Vigilante. All right, Dallas Fuel now getting the bot going. I guess at least if you take infinite damage from Hanbin, Ultraviolet's going to get nano pretty fast, and he's got it in about a couple of %. Hanbin's getting focused for the majority of this fight by the Atlanta Reign, but his ability to stay alive around this bot quite paramount to their success at the moment. Hawk does end up chasing down Fielder, and now it's a race for the backlines. A nano onto Hawks, he tries to punish Hanbin, he does so successfully. All right, even losing one there at the very start for the Atlanta Reign, and managed to clutch it up with a nice nano onto Hawk, and Hawk just, well, doing what he does best in flying at the supports and killing them before they can do anything.
I mean, that's just the power of the nano. I think a lot of Anas in this stage have been trying to use that nano on the D.Va, because you're kind of unkillable.
Yeah,
you just do so much. Like, not only do you get the, you know, the knockback there with, like, kind of boosting into an enemy to be able to isolate them, but then the everything, like the micro missiles, and just not having to reload either. You're just kind of constantly doing damage. It's pretty nice. Venom, though, looking for a pulse.
Window. Ooh, pulse. Does end up getting the lamp. Fielder would have gone down, I think, if that lamp didn't come out in time. But now comes the push. However, they got to be careful. Atlanta Reign, how now to mix with this beat. Self-destruct in the doorway. Doesn't find a kill, but Fielder still goes down to just a bunny blaster by the looks of it there. The Dallas Fuel end up cleaning up. Another big thing about the D.Va, you kind of pointing out the strengths there. Right? Oh, nice little bunny hop on, on Vigilante's head. But the D.Va received a buff like a few patches ago where the micro missiles are stronger. When the D.Va's nanoed, or even when she's not nanoed, she can use the micro missiles while using Matrix. So if you're getting run at as an Ana, you can't shoot or nade the floor or shoot sleep because you're getting Matrix, but then you're also getting damage by the micro missiles. So, yeah, horrible, horrible situation for a support player to be. I should know the amount of times I've been run down by a D.Va. Graviton Surge being thrown out. Speedly's copy did not stand much of anything there. His health only reaching 300 with the copies now, so you're rather weak, especially when you're sitting in the grab with 4 people looking at you. Dallas Fuel kind of running away with this one now. They might even be able to get their butt scratched too.
So, I mean, you're just going to try to push everybody back here. Edison, too, just kind of keeping all of these choke points on lock. There it is. Butt scratch activated, and Dallas, they used a lot of ultimates there. They've invested pretty heavily into these fights, but at least they're getting value. And I think that's something they struggled with yesterday versus Houston, just kind of trying to convert the grab into picks. Like, Hanbin wasn't finding anybody in these grabs or even getting the follow-up from his team to be able to capitalize on the enemy players that he did actually capture in the grab. But Nano again for Hawk.
Oh, there's an Animus. Oh, nice window. Hawk has to get behind it so he doesn't take. Oh no, Edison was just kind of dancing around the window there, so Hawk didn't really stand a chance. Oh! Okay, Vigilante with a kick to the chops of Edison there. He does take control of the high ground. There's a sound barrier coming out as Vigilante was using the Transcendence, and now the backline of the Atlanta Rain are completely split up from the rest of the team. A Pulse Bomb does end Hanbin's life, but Sparkle playing Gatekeeper. Vigilante and Ultraviolet need to return to the team, but because the spawn points are so close, Hawk managed to rejoin them, and now he cleans up.
Yeah, that looked almost devastating there for Atlanta, but again, when they clutch, and they're also able to walk away with a few ultimates to spare. At this point, too, they are going to have ultimate economy over Dallas Fuel. Edison does have the overclock online, but so does Speedily, and last few times we've seen Speedily pop that overclock, it's been pretty nasty.
Okay. Well, not sure what happened there. Maybe a little right click from Sparkle. All right, can Atlanta Rain tie the meters here? There's about 5 minutes to go, and they've got decent space, and with Sparkle dead, you don't need to worry about him assassinating Ultraviolet or Vigilante. It's Speedy that's the target of the Nano this time around, as Hanbin hits him with a grab once again. He can't get the damage in. Hanbin manages to get the solo grab kill onto Speedly, but he was, I guess, distracted, pushed away, and the rest of the Atlanta Rain were able to clean up the fuel because they weren't able to survive without the bubbles from Hanbin. Butt scratch mode incoming for the Atlanta Rain.
I wonder if Dallas Fuel are going to try to come back and recontest this. The bot is still, you know, not moving quite fast enough. Yeah, there we go. That's a recontest.
Oh, yeah. All right, okay, okay. There's an overclock here, too, from Edison. Atlanta Rain still want to fight, regardless of Venom being down. Edison's just fighting within the Immortality field. It gets taken out, and Speedly finds the headshot. But meanwhile, Sparkle, a little Grand Theft bot here as he steals the robot away from the Atlanta Rain. They're going to have to chase after it. I mean, they won the fight, but they lost a little bit of progress there with the robot kind of walking away from them. That might give Dallas Fuel enough time to regroup really once again and fight around the same meterage.
It really might. Like, that's the first thing that I thought of is, like, whenever you have the bot not pushing something, it's like running away.
Yeah, they're back.
Oh my god.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, I mean, they at least, like, Atlanta really only have to contend with the Pulse Bomb here from Sparkle. So Ultraviolet's able to dodge away from that. Now it's really about just kind of winning in the neutral here. But we've got 2 support ultimates coming online. Sound Bear for Chio and Nano for Ultraviolet.
Easy, yeah, easy beat there from Chio. Couldn't have been simpler. There's a Pulse Bomb onto the back of the Soldier, but a nicely timed lamp once again from Fielder. He pays for it with his life, as Hawk's Nano lasted long enough for him to pick up 2 kills. 3, in fact. Hawk kind of going crazy on the D.Va. regardless of his team right now, he's still picking up kills. But the problem is the Dallas Fuel still have a sizable lead, 20 meters or so, with that checkpoint unlocked, so they don't have to wait as the robot does move to that barricade, Rose. And with only 2.5 minutes to go, Atlanta Reign have a chance, but it's getting slimmer and slimmer.
Well, I mean, speedily now, kind of all hopes are on the overclock here against the grab too. Vigilante's not going to have the Transcendence online before Hanbin probably decides to go ahead and hit that Q. They're buying some time here. The Disruptor shots here for Speedily have been good, and there's the overclock.
Oh, Fielder dead. Yeah, I was going to say they're very... Fuel are pretty happy there, just kind of moving away, moving back, moving around a little choke point, just getting away from Speedly's right clicks. What was Gio doing there? I mean, I guess he was trying to taxi his teammates in the Mega Health back room, but it looked like he wanted to take a little duel. All right, we're back to where we were about 4 minutes ago. All right, maybe not. Edison's dead. Speedly takes his head clean off. A little bit of Viscera clean-up detail there, I think. Dallas Fuel, they do lose their Sojourn, but then Speedly lose their. Atlanta Reign lose theirs. Self-destructs and 3 different fights happening at once as Hawk and Venom end up taking a flank and killing Hanbin. Another aggressive pulse from Sparkle, doesn't end up connecting, not even resulting in any damage, really. 4 people dead for the Atlanta Reign, as Hawk was the only one left on at that point, so all he could do was really stall. And now with a minute to go, the Dallas Fuel very much have their sights set on that first seed.
Edison now with the overclock here, Chio with the sound pair, there's sustain and there is damage on the board here for Dallas. And Atlanta, they've got another shot at this, Ultraviolet with the Nano to be able to save somebody or try to power up Hawk to kick off this fight. But Venom 2, gotta land this pulse bomb. It really comes down to this final fight.
Alright, Venom's pretty low. There's another Nano, it's on Talk again. He is charging Hanbin up, something nice. Can the Dallas Fuel hold on? They've already got 1 kill, and as Edison is trying to pick these kills off from afar, it's Vigilante and Venom that come up with kills for the Atlanta Reign once again. There's 20 seconds to go. And remember, Fuel still have the lead. Banking ultimates at this point is going to be crucial. Shio needs to use this beat perfectly, but it could be the difference maker.
It really could be. I mean, as long as you don't like Ajax it or something, this could be good, but you also got to get back. Dallas have to give Atlanta the space here before they decide to move in. Hopefully somebody's touching the payload.
Yeah, all good. They're on the point. Yeah, OT is here. Dallas Fuel just need to win 1 fight now, and Hanbin and Fielder are nearing their ult. Same with Sparkle. Could be a little bit of a bigger bang situation with that grab pulse. Window opened up already. Venom forced the recall as he backs off the rest of his team, but Hawk gets the E on the grab. The Dallas Fuel lose one of their key ultimates in the final few moments, and now they try and end this with another ult. That sound barrier rushing them towards the backline. Ultraviolet is dead, and now it's up to Speedly. The overclock is here, and Hanbin's body is on the floor. The Atlanta Reign are losing numbers one by one. They are fading away, and the Dallas Fuel have done it. Locked in, first seed for playoffs.
Incredible stuff here for Dallas Fuel, and what a way to end Atlanta Reign and Dallas Fuel's final match for the regular season. I know this is not the outcome that Atlanta Reign wanted today, but they still have a playoff spot on lock. And it's all about the comeback here for the Dallas Fuel. 2 draws after that devastating loss to Houston yesterday.
Yeah, it must have been quite a big knock to the confidence, losing on a stage like that in front of one of their home crowds. But they can be super happy with this W right here. #1 in playoffs right now. They must be feeling ecstatic. You saw it on the cameras already, right? Sparkle was going a little bit crazy. The Dallas Fuel, I mean, what more can you kind of say about this team? I thought this game would be a little bit closer, if I'm going to be very honest. Maybe a map 5 banger was foretold, but not to be. The Atlanta Reign just kind of falling flat on a couple of those maps. Control was pretty damn close. Dallas Fuel did end up running away with one of the maps. They got 100-0 on one, but the other two rounds, yeah, pretty damn close there. But at the very end of it all, just Speedly and Venom not able to kind of clutch out those kills, and ultimate economy game from the Dallas Fuel just feels tip-top. There's not a moment where they're not in a position where they can either turn the fight or like have perfect ult economy. And like I mentioned, they're a hive mind. They're mind melt. They're like a mega mind, and it's kind of crazy and scary to watch them play. They're always on the same page, and you can see why they're at the top of the leaderboard right now, or the standings right now. Player of the match, I don't think it goes without saying, in this series at least, he did do some killing, a little support or combat. We're going to have Fielder as our player of the match here. Icabother was actually a map that I noticed him the most. The amount of times he was just getting nice pickoffs. It was like, wow, okay. Like, I was mentioning the kind of the differences between BAP and Ana on Junkertown. Like BAP outputs so much more damage because as Ana you can shoot, you can do damage and heal at the same time, right? But you use the same ammo. With the Batiste, you can literally just keep on firing and healing at the same time. You don't need to relive forever. Like, it's almost a perfect hero for Fielder, who has exceptional aim. And his window uses too, Rose, was also really good. Sometimes you see them either getting placed too close to you, you get run over, or like too far away from you, but like his ability to like know when to get the most value out of window is exceptional stuff. So yeah, player of the match goes to Fielder. Yeah,
well, especially when he was able to keep Hanbin alive too on Junkertown, when Hanbin went for that like super cool tech, and then like the immortality field placement to be able to keep him alive. And you know, Hanbin wouldn't be able to do nearly as much damage and be as devastating as he is if Fielder and Chio weren't there to back him up and keep him healthy. So there's the stats. I mean, that's just disgusting, Jaws. 2,500 healing per 10. Like, that's enormous.
Bit ridiculous. Yeah, hero damage looking nice, healing looking nice, banner blows, everything looking really good, and immortality fields also pretty clean. It's a good look for the Dallas Fuel going into the playoffs, that's for sure. They will be playing on a different patch. So this was Atlanta Reigns and the Dallas Fuel's final match here in the Countdown Cup, or the Countdown Cup qualifiers. So they are going to playoffs, and they're going to a different patch completely, Rose. So, you know, can Fielder do it on Kiriko? Will Kiriko be played? It's going to be an exciting time to see, and I can't wait to see all the different kind of comps that we do have. But you can rest assured, Dallas Fuel fans, that your backline is going to be as strong as you're seeing today on the new patch, I'm sure. Yeah, where does that leave Atlanta Reign?
Still in playoffs?
They are still in playoffs. They clinched their spot yesterday, so you still got that to kind of look forward to. And they always clutch out in the tournaments, Rose.
That's so true, though. That's so true. I mean, we missed them during the Summer Showdown, but every other time I feel like Atlanta Reign have really shown up to play. And, you know, playoffs, it's time to, you know, let's do it. Let's see what both of these teams got end of October.
All right, we're going to jump to a quick break. We got Gladiators in Boston after this, but we got an interview first. The desk can break this down. They can intro the next match just after this.
아나 개피.
야타 점어?
야타 쪼모.
야 떨어졌어. 걱정해.
야타.
손 안 패.
소환.
야 답해. 쏠.
집중해. 소환. 나이스.
나 진짜 끝까지 못한다 씨발.
진짜 예측 못한다. 영화 나.
너 존나 못한다 그냥 씨발.
나 죽겠다 씨발 그냥.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Game Break, everybody. I'm here with the player of the match, the best Batiste in the world. We have Fielder from Dallas. Fielder, congratulations on the win. Of course, congratulations on locking the #1 global seed as well. Now, my first question for you, Fielder, is starting, I think it was yesterday against Houston Outlaws, where we saw actually you using a lot more, actually not even a lot more, throughout the whole match, and even today, you guys have been using the Batiste. Why the sudden change is my question from Ana to the Batiste. 자, 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 또 이제 프로배에 들어가면서 1위 시드까지 거기다가 또 하나 더 있죠. 이제 오늘 PO팀까지 받으신 필더 선수. 일단 제 첫 번째 질문은 어제 경기 휴스턴전 때부터 오늘까지 원래 필더 선수가 좀 이제 아나나 이런 영어를 자주 이렇게 쓰시다가 좀 더 바티스트로 이렇게 전향을 하셨는데 좀 이거에 대한 좀 특별한 이유가 있을까요?
일단 요즘 서브에서 디바를 많이 써가지고 아나로 디바 낭자하는 게 너무 힘들어가지고 바티스트를 했는데 바티스트가 딜도 되고 힐도 되고 다 돼가지고 그때부터 바티스트를 쓰는 것 같아요.
I think the most, obvious reason is in the West we're seeing a lot more diva in compositions and in teams as well. So as a Ana healer or Ana player or a flex support player, it is really hard to play against a diva that is diving in. So we sort of wanted to fight against that by using a Batiste, because not only can Batiste put out a decent DPS, but it can also heal as well. So I think it was very effective, and we sort of went along with that, and we're finding a lot more success with it. I want to go into a little bit more about this Batiste, because I think you have been phenomenal, today as well. Of course, you getting the player of the match. It's not only the Dallas Fuel that's using Batiste, but we're finding a lot more teams starting to utilize the Batiste as well. Do you think maybe going into the playoffs, do you believe that we're going to continue seeing more Batiste as well? 자, 두 번째 질문은 방금 이제 바티스트의 좀 장점을 말씀을 이제 해주셔서 제가 봤을 때는 이제 또 달라스 팀뿐만이 아니라 요즘 들어서 시간이 가면 갈수록 좀 많은 팀들이 좀 더 바티스트를 좀 더 기용을 하는 것 같은데요. 필더 선수가 보셨을 때도 어떻게 보면 이제 시즌 프로에 들어가면서도 시즌 플레이오프에서도 좀 바티스트가 자주 좀 팀들이 사용할 것 같은 영웅이라고 좀 생각을 하시나요?
프로 메타는 이제 키리코가 새로 나오기 때문에 패치에 따라서 바티스가 쓸지 안 쓸지는 잘 모르겠지만 쓸 팀은 쓸 것 같아요. 바티스가 좋아가지고.
Alright, so I do think that because going into playoff, it's going to be a different patch. And of course, there's going to be Kiriko, a new hero that is going to be involved. So I can't be 100% sure if there's going to be Batiste involved. But I think it is going to be definitely team dependent, because Batiste is a really good hero right now. So teams that would like or that favor Batiste will probably continue to use Batiste as well. Alright, Fielder, that is it for the interview. Thank you so much for your time. And again, big congratulations on the win. 자, 오늘 POTM 축하드리고 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 인터뷰 마치도록 하겠습니다. 필더 선수 감사합니다. 땡큐.
감사합니다.